What is it about creatures we've never seen, skinwalkers, wendigos, Bigfoot, that grips our imagination? Why do legends of monsters endure, crossing centuries, cultures, and continents? Maybe it's because cryptids are more than just myths. They are mirrors reflecting fear, morality, and the very essence of what it means to be human. We are drawn to them not just for fear, but for understanding. Cryptids invite us to explore the unknown, to peer into the dark corners of both the world and our minds. Philosophy begins with questions, not answers. Socrates famously said that wisdom starts with admitting what we do not know. Cryptids embody this principle. They represent the unknown, the limits of human understanding. The Wendigo, stalking the frozen forests of North America, is more than a monster story. It is a symbol of the limits of survival and morality. It reminds us that not all of reality can be tamed, mapped, or explained away. Even Bigfoot, elusive and often dismissed as legend, occupies this space of mystery. Across the world, cultures have stories of wild men or forest spirit creatures that can't be fully rationalized. They make us confront the uncomfortable truth: there are things we do not and perhaps cannot understand. And maybe that's okay. Cryptids are rarely just terrifying, they are ethical symbols. The Wendigo, in Algonquian traditions, is a cautionary figure warning against greed, gluttony, and unchecked desire. To become a Wendigo is to be consumed by hunger, both literal and metaphorical, a vivid lesson on the dangers of excess. The story encodes a moral philosophy: restraint, empathy, and balance are necessary for survival, both physically and socially. The skinwalker, in Navajo culture, embodies taboo and corruption. The act of stealing another's skin, literally taking another's identity, is a violation of both spiritual and social law. The skinwalker is a reminder that power without morality is dangerous, and transgression has consequences beyond the physical. In Japanese folklore, ikai monsters like the Tengu or Kappa often punish human arrogance, deceit, or disrespect. These cryptids aren't evil for evil's sake. They exist to enforce ethical boundaries. Across cultures, monsters are philosophy in narrative form, a way societies teach lessons that survive across generations. Philosophers have long asked, who counts as human? Who counts as the other? Cryptids exist in that unsettling space between categories. They are liminal, half human, half beast. The skinwalker, once human, becomes other. It is a living question about identity and transformation. How far can one step outside morality before becoming something unrecognizable? The Wendigo, born from human greed and desperation, suggests that monstrosity is not always external. It is a reflection of internal corruption. In this sense, cryptids function like mirrors of the psyche. They show us what we might become if fear, desire, or taboo dominate our actions. They force us to confront the boundaries of our humanity. The 18th century philosopher Edmund Burke described the sublime an experience combining awe and terror, often in the face of nature's overwhelming power. Cryptids are embodiments of the sublime. They inhabit forests, mountains, and frozen wastes, the untamed parts of the earth. Their stories remind us that nature is not neutral. It is alive, overwhelming, and capable of instilling fear. Myths of monsters are philosophical reflections on fragility, mortality, and the limits of human control. Consider the Wendigo again. It thrives in the endless snow, a landscape of isolation and scarcity. It amplifies existential fear, turning the environment itself into a character of terror and moral reckoning. The skinwalker similarly inhabits remote deserts and canyons, spaces that are at once awe-inspiring and threatening. Cryptids often emerge from collective psychological needs. They are explanations for the unknown, ways to manage fear, and reflections of cultural anxieties. Wendigos appear in stories tied to famine and survival. They encode real human fears about starvation and social collapse. Skinwalkers symbolize fears of betrayal, corruption, and the abuse of power. In a broader sense, monsters help societies externalize internal fears, shaping communal values. Horror and myth provide a safe space to explore ethical dilemmas, social taboos, and human mortality. They are philosophy encoded in story, digestible and compelling. Today, cryptids are not confined to folklore, they live online. Skinwalkers trend on TikTok. Wendigo stories circulate on Reddit and YouTube. Creepypasta and ARG's alternate reality games turn myths into digital experiences. The digital age has amplified myth-making, giving legends new life and new audiences. The philosophical function remains. They challenge us, provoke thought, and invite reflection on fear, morality, and identity. The algorithms themselves help myths evolve, spreading them faster and embedding them in contemporary culture. Why do cryptids endure? Perhaps because they ask questions we cannot answer. What does it mean to be human? Where do morality and desire intersect? How do we confront fear, uncertainty, and the unknown? Cryptids are reflections of ourselves, shadows cast by culture, environment, and human imagination. They exist in stories, in minds, and in the liminal spaces where fear, ethics, and mystery converge. So, what are cryptids really? Monsters, myths, or philosophical tools? Perhaps they are all three.